Good morning, Vesta. How are you? Okay, just getting everything set up and to see that I am on the computer, and I am, so I am in the right spot. And Facebook just changed my orientation on my Facebook Live on my phone. On the computer, I'm in the right orientation. But now all your comments, if I'm reading my phone, are sideways. So I don't know what happened, but as long as you can see me in the upright position on your computers, I'm just gonna go with it because I don't want to start over. So if you see me upright, can you throw up some smiley faces or something just so that I know that you're seeing it right? I am, but I want to make sure that you are. And what does this say? Bring them. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what Facebook is doing if I'm reading my phone. It doesn't matter. I'm not gonna worry about it. But when I flip the camera around, then we might run into something. We're gonna see. So welcome to the Chirpy Card Maker of Quilts and More. I am Julie Heights, and I've got a Funfold that I think you're gonna like. We're gonna combine punch art with a Funfold this morning. I'm also gonna show you how my first prototype, the things that I learned from that prototype, I think it's a good thing to go over because when you do prototypes, they really, your mind's eye might, envision one thing. You go down to do it and it might turn out differently. It might not work like you thought your mind's eye envisioned it. But that's the time when the opportunities come to get creative and change your way of thinking and trying new things. So it's not a bad thing. Susan's getting ready to teach new beginners. That is so much fun. And I am upright. Thank you for sharing, Jean and Tony. I'm just going to make sure that I didn't maybe miss some questions or comments. Hi, Teresa. It's so good to see you. Hi, Carol Beth. And there's Vesta. Okay, so thank you so much, everybody, for being here. I have a couple of show and tell cards to share with you. I've started getting some birthday cards, but I kind of want to hold back on them, and next Thursday we can go over some birthday cards. Hi, Eileen. Okay, so now's going to be the moment of truth when I am flipping the camera around. So let's see what Facebook is going to do to me. Hi, Teresa. Hi, Sue. Hi, Sandy. Okay, let's see what happens. I'm going to bring it a little closer. And, okay, now I have to, this is really weird because now I'm not getting my, okay, we're going to see how this works. Oh my goodness, I think it's going to work out just fine. But I honestly don't know what Facebook is trying to do to me here. I am going to have to, what I'm going to have to do is just not pay so much attention to what my phone shows. I want to be, okay, so now I've got to flip. Let's see what that does. Okay, good. Good. We're just going to have to slide things over a little bit. You know, just when you think you have Facebook figured out, they go and And they changed stuff, which, okay, but it totally messes me up and makes me have to rearrange everything. So we're going to get things in focus here. I'm going to try and move this back because I am going to have to bring in my trimmer, and I need the room for that. Okay. Hi, Paula. Hi, Sharon. Okay. All right. So let's start out with a couple pieces of Happy Mail. This is a thank you card from Vesta, and this is the Z Fold. It might be called the Joy Fold. I am not sure. This is a fold that I did the first time. Deb Smeek at Delight of My Art, on Wednesdays, she does a mystery card. And I think it's on Mondays, she posts what you're going to need and your cutting instructions and everything. And this is a card that we did, a Funfold that we did. And I love that this cabin has come back, that Vesta has used that. And what I really thought was clever was on the back, Vesta took these two panels here. This was her opportunity to write a message to me. So I thought that was really, really clever. So thank you so much, Vesta, for that thank you card. And then Amanda Bach, I don't know if she's on or not. I don't see her. She sent me a Halloween card, which is actually from the last month's barn quilt card kit that I send out. But what I want to show you is this beautiful embossed backing that she used. I would really love to know which folder this is because it's not current. So I need to know what the name of it is so that I can go back and find it on a page where demonstrators and people who are reselling their Stampin' Up! Product. See if I can find this folder. It is just absolutely beautiful. Love the texture that she put in her pumpkin. And it's just a really beautiful Halloween card. So thank you so much, Amanda. I love it. I am so intrigued by that embossing folder. Love that these, I believe these are the champagne rhinestones, which just pull that color, the Cajun Craze color in, and they're beautiful. So it was a couple pieces of Happy Mail that I wanted to share. Hi, Doris. Hi, Robin. Good morning. So that was the Happy Mail I wanted to share with you. And like I said, as far as I got some birthday cards, but I'm going to just let those kind of pile up so I can show a whole bunch at the same time. So thank you for the birthday cards that I've gotten. This year's a special birthday. I hit 60. But it's okay. It's okay. I've struggled with it a little bit, but I'm okay. It's just a number. I don't feel like it, so I'm not going to let it bother me. So, today's Funfold. Okay, let me explain the prototype first. When I had seen, I believe this would be called a gatefold. Here's the bones. Here's the bones of the card. And I believe that is called a gatefold. Everything was going really, really well for me until I put this large circle on. And what I found is trying to slip this portion behind the circle was causing, because here's what I was having to do. I was having to tuck this behind. Can you see the crease that was started here when I would want to tuck that in behind? I didn't like that. So I had to figure something else out. What I came up with is cutting those little panels away so this could fold nicely and not have that crease. So what I'm going to show you today is this will open up like this, and it can go back, and I don't have to worry about getting that bend there. Okay, so I guess it would still be called a gatefold. Hi, Jean in North Dakota. So, yeah, and then we're going to do some punch art, and we're going to use the ladybug punch. Excuse me. We're going to use the ladybug punch to make our turkey. Her feathers are from the wing portion of the punch. This is the body. I'm going to use the daisy punch. Does anybody know what this thing is called? I call it a gobbler. I'm not really sure what the technical term for this is, but I used a petal from the daisy punch to create the gobbler. And the product that I'm using, I decided to emboss my top DSP. It's very, very pretty, but I just felt that it could use a little sprucing up. So in the mini catalog is this 3D embossing folder called Leaf Fall. And I just put my strip of DSP in there on an angle so that I could pick up all these pretty leaves. So I'm using that. And then for the sentiment, I am using the stamp set, The Very Best Occasions. And I picked out Endlessly Grateful. Okay, they have Christmas and holiday sayings. There's Thinking of You with Comfort and Love, which would be a really wonderful sympathy card sentiment. Love you, miss you, happy birthday, you're the best. So it has a little bit of everything. It's a really good stamp set. And then I'm going to be using the layering circle dies. I'm going to use a scallop circle. I'm going to use a stitched circle from Stylish Shapes, and I'm going to use this larger banner right here. And that's the Stylish Shape dies. I stamped in Cajun Craze ink for the sentiment. We're going to use the black matte dots for the turkey's eyes. And then I'm going to use some rustic metallic dots just for some embellishing. So I think that covers, other than the punches that I'll bring out, that covers what product I used. And then I chose my Designer Series paper from the Rustic Harvest Designer Series paper pack. Okay, I love this black and white, would it be Argyle? Maybe not, but it just, I love this pattern right here. Okay, so let's get busy. Hi, Pauline. It's a waddle. Okay. A wobble, a waddle. Okay. Oh, you're thinking it might be a Doris one, Vesta? I'll have to look through my little collection of embossing folders. I don't know. Maybe I already have it. Okay, so let's bring in what we're going to need for today. So we have a card base, and this is 4 1/4 by 11. We're going to do some scoring and cutting on that. We have our card insert, which is 4 by 5 1/4. We have the backing for our card, which is 4 by 5 1/4. I have my little button. I have my stamped sentiment that I used the stitched die on. These are scraps that we're going to do our punching from. And then here's that scalloped circle. And then there is the stitched circle that's going to go on top. We have our embossed piece of Designer Series paper. We have the bottom. These are 1 7/8 by 5 1/4. I want to apologize. When I posted what we were going to need for today, I did an oops, and so I want to apologize for that. That day was, my mind was in a lot of places. And then we've got 2 pieces of cardstock that are 2 1/8 by 5 1/2. So these are going to layer on to these. Okay, so let's get the trimmer out so we can do some scoring and some cutting. And that will be the bones of our Funfold. Okay, so let's bring in the trimmer. I may have to stand up since I'm going to be working away from me. What we're going to do with the 11-inch side across the top, we're going to score at 2 3/4. Okay, that's 2 3/4. We're going to flip it around and we're going to do the other end the same way, 2 3/4. Now what I'm going to do, what we want to do is we're going to cut at 2 1/8, because that's half of 4 1/4. We're going to cut at 2 1/8 and we're going to stop at the score line on both ends. So put it in at 2 1/8. Now you'll notice, I hope this picks up. See this line here on your blade if you're using the Stampin' Up! Trimmer, but I know Fisker's cutting blades, they also have it. There's an indentation that's on the sides, and what it is in the middle of that line is where your cutting blade sits. So I'm just going to line up this line here with my score line, which I am going to have to stand up, and hopefully I can see it. Right there it is. I don't want to get my head in here, but I'm going to line that indentation up with my score line, or get it very close. I'm on 2 1/8. And I am going to cut. And I'm going to do that to both ends. Okay, so I have one that I've already done. You can see that at 2 1/8, I've cut down to the score line. Let me sit back down so that it doesn't sound like I'm shouting at you. And what I did was I've just folded those sides in and then give those score lines a nice crease. Okay, so your card base looks something like this. Oh, Vesta, you have one like it. Okay, you know. What we're going to do, it doesn't matter if it's these two or these two, but kitty corner from each other, you're going to cut away the flap. So I'm going to cut away this upper left and lower right. So I'm just going to bring in my snips, and on the score line, I'm just going to cut this off. And then the opposite would be here in the lower right. I'm just going to cut these off. Okay, so those become scraps, or what you can use to punch. Now these two flaps here are where my 2 1/8 by 5.5 inch cardstock strips are going to come in. And we are going to glue them down to the flaps. Before I do that though, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to bring in the 2 pieces of designer series paper that we cut. And we're just going to go ahead and we're going to glue them down, leaving a nice little border around the edges. How's everybody doing? Okay. So we'll just glue this down. Sure, not too wonky there. Just press that into place and then do the other one. I don't think that's too bad working that far away. Oh, I moved it. Put it back in place before that glue takes hold. There we go. That's not too bad. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put glue on these flaps, and then we are going to attach our decorated long pieces of cardstock. You might want to lay it on there first, make sure that it fits okay, and before you put your glue down. Don't go too close to the edge. Remember this, if you're using the liquid glue, it's going to move behind your paper, and you don't want too much because then you have it just coming out all the sides. So just put that all the way to the end. You can use your side of the card base there to line it up and make it straight. And then we're just going to do the other end. I kind of have a little challenge for you because the inside of these flaps, I couldn't figure out what I wanted to do because they are an opportunity to, see, I want my leaves this way. They're an opportunity to add something to the inside of your card. I was just kind of left at a loss on what I wanted to do. So I'm going to challenge you to come up with some really great ideas in order to use that space as an opportunity. And what I mean by that are these 2 pieces right here. Oh, that's the one I didn't want to. What I do with that one here, this is the one that I didn't want to use. Oh, it's right here. Okay. Okay, so the challenge is how would you use maybe these 2 squares here to add something to your card? Would you do some stamping? Would you add a sentiment? How would you dress up those 2 squares? So that's a little challenge I want to throw out there to you, okay? So now we have our Funfold here. And if you have any cardstock that's hanging out over the edge, then just get in there with your snips and just even that up. Whoops. I'm not getting the good angle. I should have looked at this before putting the other one on because it's kind of like getting in my way. The back doesn't look too bad. While we've got this back showing, let's go ahead and let's put the backing on our card. You know, way in the beginning, and I'm talking a couple years ago, when I was coming back to Stampin' Up, just using the products, really, Cajun Craze was not a favorite of mine. But I'll tell you, over the last couple of years, oh my goodness, I have learned to appreciate this color. I just love it so much. And while I'm playing with the back of my card, I'm going to put my little button. Okay, so now let's go ahead and let's put our card insert on the inside. This can be dressed up with stamps. I got a little something on the front there, so I'm going to use the other side. You can stamp some more images on this. You could put in another sentiment. So there's our card insert. And now, whoops, got it upside down because I want my yellow, I want the crushed curry color on top. So here we've got our card base done. And I think I want to just kind of force that score line so this lays a little straighter. My circle will help cover any little gaps up. So let's set this aside because we're done with this part of the card. Let's bring in our punches and our scraps. And let's make a turkey out of our ladybug punch. So this is a ladybug builder punch. You can see that there is the body of the ladybug and the wings. I am going to punch the body of my ladybug out in crumb cake. So I'm just going to give that a punch. And then I've decided with my scraps to go with some rich razzleberry. And these are going to become the turkey feathers. Some Cajun Craze. Crushed curry. And early espresso. Just sticking with some fall colors. Your turkey feathers can be any color that you like. Now I'm going to bring back in the crushed curry because I'm going to use a small circle. And I'm going to cut this out or punch this small circle out. You can use a 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch. What we're going to do is we're going to make the beak of our turkey. So I'm just going to cut pieces of pie out of this circle. So I'm going to cut it in half. And then I'm going to cut it in half again. And then one more time. And depending on how big of a circle you use is how many times you want to get Just get your beak down to the size that you want it to be on your turkey. So I'm going to use that little piece. Look at how many more turkey beaks that you can get out of that circle. You could make a lot of, or quite a few, Thanksgiving cards. This would also make a really cute, if you're setting the table, I think this turkey, you could make some nameplates and use the same turkey. That would be cute. Okay, and then, so right now I'm just gathering my pieces. Now I'm going to bring in a piece of real red, a scrap, and I'm going to punch a daisy. This is the medium daisy. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off one of the petals. And that'll be the wattle or wobble or gobbler, whatever we want to call it. Coming back to the ladybug, I want to take the antennae off. So I'm just going to round that off and cut the little antennae off. And there is our turkey. And what we're going to do is I want to attach my wattle to the back of my beak. So you could use a glue dot if you wanted. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue there on the back. And I'm just going to hide the end of that petal behind my beak and hold it there. Make sure it grabs. So just hold it for a second. Isn't that cute? There's a lot of punch art that you can find on Pinterest where they use the ladybug to change up the character that you want. So there's our little beak and our wattle. Okay? And let's go ahead and just put it on our turkey. I'm going to take the curve of that circle and I'm just going to eyeball how this curve comes across on the ladybug, and I'm just going to glue it there. So just a little bit more glue. Or glue dot if that's what you prefer to use. And I am just going to eyeball that. And just kind of follow that circle. That invisible little line there. And we'll just set this aside to dry. So there's the beginnings of our little turkey. It's so cute. Okay, making the feathers. I am going to need just one of the Cajun craze. So I'm just going to cut this in half and put one to the side. I've got one of those. I'm going to leave the Cajun craze together and then just glue the crushed curry to the Cajun craze. And what I'm going to do is just put some glue here on the wings. And just center that. Maybe push it up a little higher so that you get a really nice arc when the turkey fans their feathers. And then for the, I'm using rich razzleberry. I'm going to cut those in half. And I am going to glue them to the back of the Cajun Craze, so just put a little glue there. Now, one thing will mention is you're going to want your turkey to fit inside of the circle. So kind of always check to see if you're still within your boundary of your circle. So let's put this one over here. Whoops. A little burr there. I must not have pressed firmly when I punched. Let's put that one down. And when it comes to my next color, oh good, I still fit within the circle. Instead of the feathers going like this, I am going to put the feathers down. So you've got the feathers starting at the bottom and then fanning out. So what I'm going to do is just put some glue right along that band and then make sure it gets covered up with these other feathers. So it looks something like that. So here we have our feathers of our turkey fanned out. Let's get this out of the way. And now we're just going to glue our turkey on to its feathers. Just eyeball it and pick it up and kind of see where you don't want to put glue. What I would do is I would put some glue here on the inside of these feathers and just maybe right up in there like that. And press that down. And there you have your turkey. Whoops, let's kind of move it over this way just a little bit. I was just going to try and even out his feathers down here on the bottom. So there's our punch art turkey from the Ladybug Punch. And let's let him dry a little bit. Let's bring in whatever circles you chose. If you don't have the dies and you have punches, you just want to make sure that this the smaller die fits inside of the larger scallop, or maybe you chose to use 2 circles. That's fine. So we just want that to sit right on top of each other. Let's put some glue. And then just put this down. Pick it up and kind of slide it around a little bit if you need to. So we've got that. And I am going to glue my turkey down because I'm actually going to pop this scallop up on dimensional. So I don't want too much height going on. So I'm going to go ahead and I am just going to put some adhesive behind all the feathers here in his body. And then I'm just going to place him inside the circle there. That burr, I'm going to try and tuck that burr in underneath. That happened because I didn't punch real solidly. Could have been a little bit firmer with my grip there. So there's our turkey. And then I think I'm going to put his eyes on last. So we have our turkey. Let's bring back in our card base. He's gonna sit somewhere right in there. I have my little greeting here, and I'm gonna glue this down, but I want my scallop circle to I want it to cover up the banner on the one end. So this is just eyeballing it and then gluing down your sentiment, your little greeting. Your sentiment could actually be on the inside, and this is the greeting. And I'm going to keep it over here on the right. I'm going to pick it up, make sure that I'm not too crooked. That doesn't look too bad. And then with dimensionals, I am going to pop Mr. Turkey up. And I don't want dimensionals on the top portion here because we need to be able to open our Funfold. So I'm going to keep the dimensionals down on the bottom. And I'm not even going to go halfway up, just to play it safe. Oh, wow, I guess I should have made sure. I think I'm still okay. Should have made sure I had him. I think I'm all right. And then I'm just going to push him over. Maybe like that. I think I want to try and force this down a little bit if I can. I think that looks okay. So then we'll give that a press. Make sure our dimensionals are not on the wrong side there. And then let's bring in those black matte dots and put a couple of these little tiny ones for his eyes. And they're going to sit right on top of his beak. Sit them right there on top of his beak like that. Now he's got personality. He's got some eyes. And I'm just going to use the rustic dots here and just place them. I'm into this twos right there together, and then maybe one up here in this corner, just to give it a little bit more detail. So that is our Funfold with our punch art. And again, I would like to see how you would use these spaces here. I've thought about bringing in the same designer series paper that's on the flap. So I would bring in that piece of crushed curry and then bring in this argyle or this plaid here. I'm not really sure what I want to do yet. So I think I'm going to leave it because I want to see what how you're going to inspire me to use those spaces. So I'm just going to kind of sit back and see what you share. Oh, thank you, Betty. Hi, Kim. And just see what you do with it. And if you, hi, Della. Okay, please do watch replay. Zena, hello. I do too. I love to see how we can utilize the punches for other things than what they appear. I agree. Hi, Marilyn. Hi, Pauline. Oh, and did I see Holly? Oh, I thought I saw Holly's name. I just don't want to miss anybody. Yeah, Kim is suggesting maybe stamp some leaves. That's a really good idea. That way we could bring in the embossed layer, bring that feel in. I'm thinking maybe that would be a good opportunity for the, oh, I've been using the stamp set a lot lately. Let's see, where is it? Where is my fall? Well, I've got it sitting around here somewhere. Oh, here it is. The Hello Harvest. We could use this leaf right here. In fact, oh my goodness, I have a whole bunch of these sitting here that I stamped and then used the die cut with it. You could throw some leaves on there. That's a great idea. Great way to dress it up and make it feel more Thanksgiving fall-like. Put some leaves. That almost seems like this is meant to be because they were sitting there and then you suggested that, Kim. So there could be a meant to be. I might have to stamp some in colors that I used, but that's a really great idea. So I'm just going to be really looking forward to seeing your own spin on this design. This group is so talented. I get inspired all the time. You always take the design to the next level. So I get so excited when I get notifications that somebody posted in the group, which is called Quilt Cards and More. And all you have to do is request to join from the Chirpy Card Maker page. There's a little tab that says groups. And if you click on Quilt Cards and More, you can request to join that group. And there's so much inspiration and so much talent over there. So maybe you're not thinking Thanksgiving. Maybe you don't have the ladybug punch. I'm sure that you have something else that you could put inside of your circle. And think the holidays, think birthdays. I think this would be a cute card for a little one because with their hands they can open it up and play with it. So maybe this would be a good layout for a little person. So maybe the elephants or just something that is something that a child could relate to and make it a birthday or just thinking of you. Let them know, especially if you're like me. I'm a grandparent who our grandchildren are about 3 hours away. So maybe I want to, I would make that a thinking of you. Let them know that even though you're far away from each other, that they're still on your mind. There's so many things that you could do with this. But I just thought that the punch art was really cute. I love punch art. I love punches because they're so quick and easy. So that is today's design. I do have a PDF that I am going to upload as soon as we're done. And you'll find that over in the group as well because they actually allow me to, or anyone in the group can upload a file and share with everybody else. If you haven't seen it yet, last week Doris posted a file that explains that this is an easel card. And so you can print that. I already printed out several. And you can cut them apart and stick them right in the card so they understand the concept of the easel card. Thank you, Doris, so much for sharing that with all of us. That's it for today. I just look forward to seeing what you're going to do with this design. And so, hi, Paula. Thank you. Hi, Sandy. And Sue, you're welcome. Hi, Ruth. Ruth is joining us from Newfoundland and Labrador, Canada. That is awesome. Thank you for being here. Okay, so thank you, everybody. I will go through the comments and answer any questions later today. As soon as I say goodbye, I'm going to upload that PDF so you can print that off. And if you were just watching today to get the gist of the card, then you can go back, follow the PDF, and make yours. And don't forget to share a picture in the Quilt Cards and More group. So that's it, everybody. Have a blessed day. Now the challenge is going to be how I'm going to stand up and look at my phone and figure out how Facebook wants me to finish my live, since they've changed everything on how my phone looks. So just have a grand day, everybody. Have a blessed day. And I want to say thank you for thinking of me and my family. We lost Stretch. Stretch used to love to hop up on the table here and want to make his presence known when I did Facebook Lives. He passed away Tuesday morning suddenly. And when I mean suddenly, it was quick. The vet can't say for sure, but he could have had an aneurysm. So Tuesday was a mess, and everybody's kind words brought us a lot of comfort. I read all of them to my husband. We were both taking it pretty hard. So thank you for that. And also thank you for always supporting me by watching the lives. For those of you that place orders, have joined my team, thank you. I've been getting emails from Stampin' Up, not even realizing that last year that I had achieved certain things to get these little badges. So thank you so much. They certainly were a bright spot over the last couple of days. So thank you for that. All of those are because of you. And Jean is having lunch with Nash and the puppy, Ozzy. Oh my goodness, Jean, Ozzy's ears. I wouldn't be able to leave those ears alone because they are just the cutest. So have fun with the puppy. And everybody, I will see you Sunday night at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. We are putting together the October Barn Quilt card kits, which was the Angel and the Churn Dash block. They are actually the cover photo for the Chirpy Card Maker of Quilts. And I will reveal November's kit, which the colors were influenced by the Designer Series paper that is only... It'll be available November 1st for customers. It's part of the Fitting Florets bundle, or Fitting Florets bundle, but this is the Designer Series paper. So the colors were inspired by this Designer Series paper so that I could use some of the designs of this paper pack for the backing of the barn quilts. And I know this is really rather springy and has that cottage feel. For the time of the month in November, it kind of seems odd. But the reason why I'm doing it in November is this paper is only while supplies last. The stamp set and the dies are going to be in the new mini catalog that comes out in January, but the paper won't follow. So if you like the paper when you see it, you're going to want to get that because it's while supplies last. And so I didn't have several months to put this on the back burner and use the colors, let's say maybe more in the early months of next year. I I got to do it now. So that's why we're going to have this cottage feel, 2 barn quilts that have a cottage feel because of the colors in this paper here. Okay, so that's Sunday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll put October's card kit together, and we will get to see what November's looks like. So everyone, have a really good day. Thank you for joining me. Hi, Judy. And I will see you on Sunday night.